Hello, everyone. This is Pastor Jay Grant bringing you an encouraging word, and it's good to be back with you this week. The title of my message, Politics in America, Isn't It a Pity? 50 years ago, George Harrison of the Beatles released a solo album entitled Isn't It a Pity? And the first few lines of the cover song go like this: Isn't it a pity? Isn't it a shame how we break each other's hearts and cause each other pain? And I think those words so describe what's happening with people right now in the midst of the political insanity that's going on in our country. It's been heartbreaking, it's been tragic, and I am deeply and have been deeply saddened by it all. Over politics, people have come unglued, and that includes many, many Christians. Everywhere you look, there's anger, insults, people taking offense. There's long-time friendships in which suddenly the friendship's over, even they become enemies. Separation and division. Democrats cannot bear Republicans, and Republicans cannot bear Democrats. What has happened to us? How did we get to this place? We've lost our way, and we've truly lost a sense of life's priorities, that's for sure. I think one of the most difficult things for me is when you study history, you learn that politics doesn't solve very much. Neither do politicians. And the reason that politicians don't solve very much is because they're people and they're humans. And humans can become weak and humans can fail, and they do. Jesus understood human nature far better than anyone. In the beginning of his ministry, when everything was going so well, people were just proclaiming him to be the Messiah and the King. And listen to what Jesus thought about a trusting people, trusting man. I'm going to read to you from the end of John chapter 2 here. One of my favorite passages for a long time, describing what Jesus knows about you and me. It says here in John chapter 2, because of the miraculous signs that Jesus did in Jerusalem at the Passover celebration, many people were convinced that he was the Messiah or the King. But Jesus didn't trust them because he knew what people were really like. No one needed to tell him about human nature. Yeah, Jesus knew that these same people who were proclaiming him to be the Messiah would be the same people who would one day cry out, "Crucify him." He was well aware of the changing nature of man and how quickly they can move from one side to the other. Psalm 118 verse 8 says this: "It is better to trust in the Lord than to trust in man." And you know what's interesting about that verse? Psalm 118 verse 8 is the center verse of the entire Bible. In other words, if you want to know what is the middle of the Bible, it's Psalm 118 verse 8. And I don't think it's any coincidence at all that that verse is speaking to us about man. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put your trust in man. The next verse, Psalm 118 verse 9 says, it's better to trust in the Lord than to trust in princes. Princes being a name for a king or a political leader, someone in authority. So everyone, put your trust in God, not in man. Put your trust in God and not in any political party. Put your trust in God and not in any leader, and put yourself in a full sense of trusting God for the future, and certainly don't trust CNN, MSNBC, or Fox News. More than anything, at this time, in this hour, we need to realize how important people are, that they are much more important than their political views. Enough of the separation, enough of the division. Can we not be kind to one another? Can we not be gracious? Let's listen to each other. Experience some civil debate. To be pulling for each other even when we disagree. And more than anything, to love our brother, to love that family member, to love our neighbor, and to love especially the person who might hold diametrically opposite views from us. It'll make the world a better place, because right now, the world seems to be spinning out of control, fueled by anger and bullying and insults and all of these things. It needs to end. Isn't it a pity? Isn't it a shame how we break each other's hearts and cause each other pain? Let's end it. You and me. We can start to make a change. We can be peacemakers. We can be reconcilers. And we can be those who draw people together, pull people together, so we can be a people who care and live together in peace and in harmony. Well, thanks so much for watching. I think this is a really important word right now, a couple of weeks before the election. Really, let's love people. Let's not argue. All right. Don't forget what I love to say to you each week, that God loves you on your worst day as much as he does on your best day. Take care, everyone. I will see you next time. Bye.